Because we're full-timers, this is of course our home. So we don't have a storage facility that we normally keep it when we're not there because we live in it. But what about when we go away on a trip, like our recent RVing trip to Italy? What do we do with it to make sure it's safe and secure? Today, we're going to tell you what we did while we were away from home for 2 months. Just like people who live in sticks and bricks houses, we like to go away on trips sometimes. But that means we need to find a safe, secure place to keep our home. We took a trip to England last year. A few years ago, we went to Australia. And of course, there are times when we fly out to visit family during the holidays or for special occasions. The most typical place to store an RV when you live in it is at an RV park. Lots of them have storage facilities. Some of them are fenced. Some of them even have gates on the fences. Some of them are just sections of the RV park where you'll park your rig and leave it there and lock the door and hope everything's okay. None of those places keep our rig really secure, and they certainly don't protect it from the heat and sun of the summer and freezing and snow in the winter. This past year, we heard about a place called National Indoor RV Centers, and that sounded great because indoor storage, we hadn't had that before. So rather than park outside, we went to Las Vegas and put our rig inside NIRVC's location there. The building is enormous, and it's also immaculate. They're still getting things put together there. They haven't even finished building out the offices yet. That's how new it is. And we couldn't believe how they have it all organized. Large RVs and small, lined up in neat rows, and all of them plugged into electric power. They have a network of cables that hang from the ceiling in places where they can plug in every RV in the place. They put a barcode on the front of every RV to make it easy for them to know exactly where it is and find it quickly when it's time for you to come and pick it up. We found out that most of the people who keep their rigs there are actually part-timers, and this is their standard storage place. They know their rig is in, out of the elements, behind locked doors with security cameras and staff to keep an eye on it, and they know if they bring it in clean and park there, they're going to come back and their rig is going to be in the exact same condition that they left it in. One big advantage for part-timers who normally have to winterize their rigs is keeping it indoors means they don't have to bother with that anymore, because obviously in the controlled climate inside the building, there's no freezing. When it comes time to drop your rig off or pick it up, they have Concierge Service where you can simply bring the rig in, they'll take it from there. You obviously don't have to park it. When it's time to pick it up, they'll check and make sure your batteries are properly charged, which of course, since they're on electric power all the time, that's not a problem. They'll also check and make sure the tire pressures are correct, top up your fresh water tank, and if you want, they'll even turn your refrigerator on for you before you come back. That way you don't have to wait for the fridge to cool down before you load your cooler load of food up inside for your trip. And one thing we were concerned about, letting someone else drive our rig. We normally don't do that. Usually nobody drives it but us. It was good to find out that they have strict rules about how rigs are moved. No one is allowed to back a rig up in the facility without a spotter. And we watched as people's rigs were slowly, carefully, and thoughtfully driven into place with someone watching from outside while the driver was maneuvering. We saw the extra care they took with fifth wheels, using a walkie-talkie to communicate with the driver from the spotter's position. That's because when the rig goes around a corner, you can lose sight of the spotter. So they make sure that they stay in touch, park everything with no damage. Besides storage, they also have sales, and they handle high-end RVs, including Newmars. So we had a good time shopping and kind of dreaming about what new rig we might get if and when we decide the time is right. They also have a service facility. So if you have work that needs to be done on your rig, you don't have to come pick it up there and take it somewhere else to get the work done. You don't even have to be there. You can contact them. They can take your rig out of storage, bring it into the service facility and do what's needed, and then put it back in storage. And if you want, you can arrange for them to dump your tanks too. So you don't have to be inconvenienced at all. They also have wash, wax, and detail services available. We stored our rig in the Las Vegas location, but we also got a chance to see the brand new facility that they're moving into in Phoenix. They also have locations in Dallas and Atlanta. When we were ready to come back, we used the NIRVC website to let them know what date and time we were coming back. And when we got in from the airport, even though it was late and after hours and they were closed for the day, our rig was outside, plugged into power, waiting for us to come and get settled back into the house. Whether you're a full-timer or a part-timer, if you've been storing your rig outside in areas that aren't quite as secure or comfortable as you'd like, we heard that NIRVC had a great reputation, so we went to check it out for ourselves. We were impressed with what they do, and we think you will be too. Thanks for joining us today, and as always, safe travels, and thanks for watching.